Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So guys, some possible new leaks have appeared from the Masterverse line of action figures, and apparently these are going to show up on Amazon. Guys, I'm super excited about these possible new figures that are coming out. Why don't we take a deep dive into this? But before we get started, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I post up to 2 episodes a week, and I hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you guys will always know when new episodes are posted. Well, guys, without further ado, let's take a deep dive into this and see if these leaks have any merit. And then, you know what? Maybe contemplate on possible other figures that might be coming out somewhere along the line in 2023. Let's have a look. So this news came to me from friend of the channel, Tony Olivero. He's always been able to keep me up to date, just like many other wonderful contributors to this channel. Thank you, Tony. I really appreciate the heads up. He sent me this message on Instagram, and it was simply a link over to Canal dos Mineros Instagram page. And if we head over there, they have this listing, apparently, of Amazon products, all Master Universe. They go on to say that, attention bikers, Amazon Gringa already has the 4 new figures from Masterverse line. New wave coming with everything. Master Universe, Masterverse, Merman Classic, Master Universe, Masterverse, Buzz Off, Master of the Universe, Masterverse, Horde Skeletor, and Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Prince Adam. Oh my goodness, guys, this is crazy. And I thought we'd just take a moment and really speculate as to what these are. There were no pictures involved at all. But much like the way Toy Habits has thanked Canal dos Mineros for, their coverage on these early leaks of Master Universe and Master Universe New Eternia, I do have to say thank you so much. Canal dos Mineros. It's all there in Portuguese. Holy crap, everybody. This is nuts. I don't know how these guys get the scoop on this, but so far, as we've seen on Toy Habits, they really are ahead of their game. Let's take a deep dive into this and really kind of speculate as to what these guys might be able to look like by using examples that we have in the past. Let's have a look, guys. So, we should definitely take a look at Powerhouse Animation. They were the ones who made the character designs for the original Master Universe Revelations character designs for Netflix. Mining through their archives on Twitter, they've posted up various designs for different characters through the show. You can see Orko here, including their palette swaps. This is amazing. So, doing a little bit of digging, I was able to pull up a few slides, which I think I want to share, and kind of, dream a little bit, try to find out exactly what might be possible for these releases. First up is Merman, and this was listed on Canal dos Mineros as being the Masterverse Merman Classic. That really gives me hope. As we know, Tila was able to get a classic look, and having a classic look for Merman should be absolutely amazing. This is the way he looked in Revelations. This is the flashback scene where they depict Merman, and he has more or less his traditional armor here. We can see it's made of lobster, maybe some sort of aquatic creature, and made their shell into his armor. And again, he's very much adorning most of the things that we associate with Merman. He really does look amazing here in his younger form. As a matter of fact, if we compare the action figure that we got for Merman in Masterverse compared to the Master Universe Classics version of Merman, we can definitely see quite the difference here. This, of course, is the future version of Merman. We can see that he's gone through quite a lot in the years since he was serving Skeletor. He's been through many battles. He's no longer wearing his armor at all. He's lost an eye. And the only thing he, adorns himself now, seaweed trunks, the belt, his gauntlets, as well as his shin pads. That's pretty much it. And of course, he carries his bident. If we compare that to the classics Merman, this is what a lot of us remember as Merman, being very much based off of the original 1984 toy. He does have that crazy-looking psychopathic head, which again was actually repurposed for Stinkor. He has the trident made of bones, a wonderful addition to the classics line. His armor really does look as if it was made out of the shells of certain crustaceans, like a lobster shell and maybe even crab shells. Very, very cool. He has this, of course, signature belt buckle, some sort of heraldry for his house, and he does have a furry loincloth. I have to say, the seaweed loincloth to me makes a lot more sense. He also has his traditional shin pads and of course his web feet. I wonder if this is going to be the sculpt that they're going to end up with for classic Merman. It does not say if it's actually part of New Eternia or not, so that being classic, we actually might end up closer to the Revelations version I guess time will tell. I would love it if we got another version of Merman closer to this. Now, there is another version of Merman which was released a little bit later, and this, of course, was the Lords of Power Merman. And I gotta say, I wouldn't mind this version either. The face is a lot more animated, very close to the way he looked in the Master Universe 2000X edition. I really like the way this guy looks, and honestly, he still retains his, what a lot of us affectionately call, his corn cob sword. We know it now as being more of a alligator's tail, with bony protrusions, at least an homage to that. But seriously, I wouldn't mind if we actually got this version of Merman as well. Either or would be a very, very welcome addition to my collection. So yeah, definitely looking forward to getting Merman in his classic look. The next figure that was mentioned was, of course, Master Universe Buzz-Off. Now, it doesn't say that it's the classic edition of Buzz-Off, so I'm going to go ahead and say that this is probably going to be part of the new Eternia version. If not, it's probably going to be the Revelations version. The character design for Buzz-Off looks more like this. Now, it's kind of funny because we actually barely saw Buzz-Off. His entire race was only, showcased in that one last final battle, along with the Avions, right? Stratos' people were also not showcased very, very long either. It was pretty much just small, tiny little segments, but what we did see pretty much harkened back to the original toy, as well as the classic style. His race is known as the Andrenids. Got those protruding horn-like apertures from his legs and his arms. These, of course, in the toy was already part of, other characters like clawful, exoskeleton type of limbs. I can definitely see him fitting well in with a current roster of characters that we already have. We can see here, courtesy of the Foosh, we can see Buzz-Off through the ages. The only one missing is the Origins version, which is in reality basically the same thing as the original version with more articulation. He's had the same color scheme and overall design for the first two generations, the last one being, of course, from the 2000X series, and I loved what they did with the Mike Young series version of Buzz-Off. They gave him more of those insect-like legs, much more bony protrusions. Buzz-Off pretty much shares Clawful's body in pretty much everything except for his head and the wings, so it's really interesting to see how they put him together. Now, I am very much interested in seeing how they're going to do a Masterverse edition, and if it's actually going to be based off of the Netflix series. I guess time will tell. It's also interesting to note that he doesn't actually have his eyelid hat. That's something of note. And even here, the Foosh's picture, he's not featured with his eyelid hat. Just for reference, here is the Master Universe Origins edition with the actual hat in question. It has that secondary honeycomb set of eyes, and it's even got two little antennae. It's a really cool little addition to Buzz-Off. And let's be honest, it really was the first thing to get lost in the entire collection, along with his weapon. The next figure was something I think a lot of people have been hoping for because of let's be honest, the mystery surrounding him. Master Universe Masterverse Horde Skeletor. Horde Skeletor character designs from Powerhouse Entertainment, not going to mince words. He really does look kind of simple. He has a cloak, which is very traditional to Skeletor. He also has Skeletor straps for the most part. We can see that here. And I'm going to assume that is his bone heraldry on top of the straps. The one thing that really differentiates him and gives us the signification that he is, of course, with Hordak, is his belt. So this is signature to all the Horde troopers, soldiers, pretty much anyone who's in service of Horde Prime. This is the insignia that represents the evil Horde in any universe. So we know that there are invaders from a different galaxy, and man, does Skeletor ever look the part. He's clad in all black with red trim, and that is also another signature trait of the Horde, particularly Hordak. We can see here that he's sporting no purple on his attire. It's pretty much black and red, and honestly, it gives that sleek appearance to Skeletor. I really like it. In the scene where he was with Evelyn saving her from the bandits, there was no indication that he had any weapons of any sort. No Havoc staff, no wand, no sword of power which he crafted himself, or even a bone sword. So it'll be interesting to find out what they include with this version of Skeletor, as I really think no one is going to be interested in picking up Skeletor without at least a few accessories. It will be interesting to find out if he actually gets his own, signature Horde crossbow. I think that would be hilarious. The last figure on the list is, I think, one that a lot of fans of the Revelation series have been wanting for quite some time. And I think a lot of people are going to be wanting this figure regardless, no matter what people think. Prince Adam is a very beloved character in the Master Universe. Although he was a smaller character in this series, he still had the presence of Prince Adam. He was kind. He was, thoughtful. He actually had the real power behind He-Man and his ability to choose right over wrong. Prince Adam is the purest of heart and really deserved to be the hero of Eternia. He really is much, much smaller here. As a matter of fact, standing side by side Teela, he's actually a little bit smaller than Teela. And of course, the version that was portrayed in Filmation, which he's based off of, he has his purple tunic, he has his inner white shirt, he has that. It's not really an Eternian belt. It's sort of like a more simplified belt. He's got those lavender tights, I guess we'll call them the tights, and he's got those crazy boots. What he ended up looking like in the toy version back in 1985. The closest thing we have to this, to give us sort of a reference in terms of what he could look like, is the Mike Young version, which was part of the Master Universe 2000X release, which is the fans' way of saying it, but it's the Mike Young series. And here is a slightly custom version of that character. I like the way they put this together. This is a rough and tumble version of Adam. The 2000X version portrayed him as, a capable prince who could fight, but had to pretend that he was incompetent and not able to hold his own. These pictures come from Insidious Customs. These guys are awesome. You should check them out for sure. We also have another photo here, and this is the figure officially released by the Four Horsemen during the Master Universe 2000X run. Something which we can, hope for in terms of what we might be able to see with Prince Adam going forward. He obviously will not have bare arms. He'll have the inner shirt, which goes all the way down. He won't be having any of these gloves with gauntlets on them. It won't be like a half tunic. It'll be a full on tunic. But honestly, I am very, very excited about what the possibilities are for a brand new Adam figure, especially since he's going to be based off of the Revelations figure. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. But it doesn't stop there, guys. I mean, knowing that we are getting way more figures in the Masterverse line, and as well as the new Eternia line, this is probably proof positive that we're going to get way more figures in 2023. Much like the classic edition of Teela, I really do want to see the classic edition of Evil Lyn. My goodness. She looked amazing when she was battling Teela in Castle Grayskull during the first sequence of events that led towards the rest of Revelation. I'm really looking forward to seeing if we get this version of Evil Lyn, because this was Evil Lyn at her prime. She was not devoid of magic. Magic was still very strong in the world. She was powerful. She was strong. She was a true mistress of magic at this time, and honestly, I would love to see this version of Evil Lyn realized. Don't get me wrong, I really did love this version of Evil Lyn that was released in the Masterverse, but she doesn't have her traditional armor. It was more of this, leather tunic with a sash. This is the version I really want to see for Evil Lyn. All these callbacks to the original toy from 1983. Seriously, this is Evil Lyn. The only thing different that would actually make it 100% right on the nose would be her more yellowish skin tone. That would just take it over the top, in my opinion. But I could definitely live without that type of color choice 100%. The second in command from Skeletor. And again, there are just so many other characters that we can talk about. We can talk about King Randor. Hopefully we're going to be getting a version of him. We can talk about Queen Marlena and the fact that, I would love to see her not only in her royal court attire, but I would love to see her flight suit as well. I think that would be amazing. We can get even deeper cuts than this. We can go into Eternian guards. And then, of course, if we really want to just lose our minds, I'm really waiting, truthfully, and I think a lot of people are waiting for this, we want Pig Boy. We want Pig Boy from the Master Universe movie. Yes, indeed. If you guys don't know the history of Pig Boy, he was actually a kid who won a contest. I think it was Kellogg's. Ran a contest for Master Universe to appear in the movie, and they didn't know what to do with this poor kid. So they basically, made up a character called Pig Boy and shoved him into the movie for one tiny little scene to give the Havoc staff to Skeletor. And that was it. He actually gets, I think, a good 2 seconds in the movie, but it's enough because even though you can't tell who it is, you can't see his face, he really did endear himself to many fans who know about this deep, deep cut character. And then, of course, we can talk about Goatman. We can talk about so many other characters. But why stop there? We could also talk about the additional heroes of Eternia. We could talk about Hudok Ungol. I mean, we already have a sorceress which you could base her buck off of. So that would be a lot of fun, I think. We could talk about Vicor, and the fact that he is another champion of Eternia. And, of course, the conversation can't be had without Wondar. Seriously, Wondar, this guy looks absolutely beastly, and I would love to get his version from the Masterverse. I can't wait for this, guys. This is going to be absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, guys, this is wonderful. Huge shout out to Canal das Rosmineros for this wonderful update. I am crossing my fingers that it's absolutely true, and I'm super excited about all the new figures that are going to come out in 2023. Oh my god, guys. Oh. Honestly, I gotta give a huge shout out to Canal dos Rosmineros for sending us this amazing leaked opportunity. I'm not gonna say for 100% certainty that this is real. Obviously, it's just a list of figures that possibly could come out, but as Toy Habits has demonstrated multiple times, Canal dos Rosmineros seems to be on the ball when it comes to these things. So who am I to doubt them at this stage? And you know what? This is going to be a wonderful release if it actually does happen. I mean, come on. Classic Merman, New Eternia Buzz-Off, Prince Adam, and Horde Skeletor. Man, I cannot wait until we get these guys into our collections. My fingers crossed this is actually real, because I think a lot of us really would like our own version of Prince Adam. He really did, embody everything that a hero should be in the Revelation series, and he was one of my personal favorites in the series, and I really can't wait to get a version of him in plastic form. Guys, let me know in the comment section below, are you interested in any of these figures for the Masterverse? I mean, some people are kind of like on the fence about Revelations, but seriously, these characters are some core characters from Master of the Universe. But let me know if you guys are interested at all, or are you completely out of the Masterverse game? They're not the right scale, they're not the right size, you don't like the way they look in general, slightly smaller heads, not enough proportions in the bodies, or are you just not a fan of Master Universe Revelation and you can't wait until this line pretty much keeps moving on and you're 100% in on Origins? Guys, please let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. And if you are in the position to help out the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon page. It's, of course, Mega J Retro on Patreon. Guys, the patrons of this channel really help me out with, of course, being able to afford this great equipment that I'm getting right now. And they are, of course, the biggest supporters of this channel. However, liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel is more than enough. But thanks to all the patrons who helped me to make this happen. You guys are the best. Guys, I hope you're doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We have the power, everybody. We have the power. Good journey. Geek proud. I want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon and channel member supporters. Thank you so much, everybody. It's thanks to your support that this channel continues to grow, and I really could not have done this without you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It really means a lot and really helps the channel to keep growing.